The annual Hamilton family gathering was in full swing at my father's estate. Crystal champagne flutes clinked as relatives bragged about their latest achievements. I stood quietly in my simple black dress, watching the familiar scene unfold. And then, my cousin Derek announced, "We closed the merger for $50 million. Applause rippled through the crowd. "What about you, Rachel?" Aunt Patricia turned to me. "Still doing that. What was it again?" "Investment analysis," I replied softly. "Oh right, entry-level work." She wrinkled her nose. "When are you going to get a real career like your cousins?" More laughter. I checked my phone, a message from my actual COO. "Everything's ready. News breaks in 10 minutes. Rachel's always been." Dad paused diplomatically, content with smaller ambitions. I sipped my champagne, remembering similar comments over the years. Comments that had fueled every late night, every calculated move, every quiet acquisition as I built Atlas Global in secret. Speaking of success, Uncle James raised his glass. "Let's toast Derek's merger. Biggest deal of the year." My phone buzzed again, breaking news alert scheduled. All media platforms synchronized. I glanced at the massive TV where CNBC played in the background. 3 minutes. "Really, Rachel," my sister Emma chimed in, "I could get you an interview at my firm. Something more suitable than whatever it is you do." 2 minutes. "At least she has a job," cousin Mark smirked. "Remember when she said she was going to build her own company?" 1 minute. The TV suddenly switched to breaking news. The room fell silent as the anchor's voice filled the space. Breaking news. The mysterious owner of Atlas Global, ranked as the world's most valuable private company, has finally been revealed. My photo appeared on screen. Dad's champagne glass slipped from his hand, shattering on the marble floor. Rachel Hamilton, age 32, has been confirmed as the founder and CEO of Atlas Global, with an estimated net worth of $157 billion. The silence was absolute. Every face turned to me as the anchor continued. Atlas Global, known for its revolutionary AI systems and quantum computing breakthroughs, has acquired over 200 companies in the past 5 years. "This is a mistake," Dad whispered. "No mistake," I smiled, pulling out my phone. "Atlas Global owns the network you're watching. And the one next to it. And most of the companies you all work for." Derek's face went pale. "The merger I just closed was with an Atlas subsidiary," I confirmed, "along with most of the independent companies in your portfolio." The room erupted in chaos as phones started buzzing. News alerts, messages, emails, all announcing that the quiet Hamilton daughter they'd mocked had built the world's most powerful tech empire right under their noses. "Impossible," Emma stuttered. "You're just an analyst." "At one of Atlas's shell companies," I corrected, pulling up real-time data on my phone. "Every morning, you all went to your prestigious jobs, never realizing you were working for my subsidiaries." The TV continued its coverage, showing Atlas Global's vast portfolio. AI systems powering global infrastructure, quantum computers revolutionizing industries, tech innovations reshaping the world. "But your apartment." Aunt Patricia gestured weakly. "Your Toyota. Excellent camouflage, weren't they?" I smiled. "The perfect cover while I built something none of you could imagine." "Tell me, Derek, how's the integration going with your new merger partners?" He grabbed his phone, frantically calling his office. "The deal can't close until next week. Actually, it closed an hour ago. Atlas expedited the process." I paused. "Oh, and your position has been restructured. Your new supervisor will contact you Monday." More phones buzzed as the business world processed the revelation. Stock prices shifted. Companies announced ownership changes. The Hamilton family's carefully constructed world of corporate hierarchy crumbled in real time. "Rachel," Dad stepped forward, his voice shaking. "Why didn't you tell us?" "Tell you?" I laughed softly. "Like when I tried to tell you about AI innovations 5 years ago and you said I didn't understand real business. Or when I predicted quantum computing would revolutionize finance, and Emma said I should stick to spreadsheets." My phone lit up with another message from my COO. "Phase 2 ready. Proceed." "Yes," I typed back, watching the TV switch to more breaking news. "Atlas Global announces major acquisitions." The anchor's voice filled the room again. Hamilton Industries and all subsidiary companies to be integrated into Atlas portfolio. My company? Dad collapsed into a chair. You bought my company? Actually, I owned it 3 years ago. Through a network of shell corporations even your board didn't recognize. I projected acquisition data onto the TV screen. Along with Emma's firm, Derek's portfolio, and most of the companies represented in this room. The silence was deafening as they watched their corporate empires dissolve into the Atlas Global Network. You all taught me valuable lessons, I continued, switching the display to years of family gathering recordings, every dismissive comment, every mocking laugh. Like when Mark said I lacked business instincts. That was the day I acquired my first quantum computing lab. Or when Emma suggested I aim smaller. That funded our AI breakthrough. We were wrong, Emma whispered. Spectacularly wrong, I agreed. And now Atlas Global owns every company you thought was beyond my reach. Every merger you celebrated, every deal you closed, all part of my larger strategy. My phone buzzed with media requests. Forbes, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal. All wanting to know how the overlooked Hamilton daughter had built a technological empire in secret. Now if you'll excuse me, I headed for the door. I have some interviews to give. About how I created the world's most valuable company while my family was too busy mocking my career to notice. As I walked out, I heard the TV announcing more Atlas acquisitions. Derek arguing about his demotion. Emma calling her firm's partners. And above it all, Dad's voice breaking as he realized his corporate legacy was now just another subsidiary in his daughter's empire. Sometimes the best revenge isn't telling people you're successful. It's letting them discover just how badly they underestimated you. And the Hamilton family was about to discover just how expensive underestimation could be. The morning after my revelation, I sat in my real office, the entire top floor of Atlas Tower, formerly Hamilton Plaza. Through floor-to-ceiling windows, I watched the sunrise reflect off buildings that now bore the Atlas Global logo. Your family has been quite persistent, Maya, my actual executive assistant, entered with a stack of messages. They've been in the lobby since 6 a.m. I glanced at the security feeds showing my relatives clustered in the reception area, looking decidedly less polished than at last night's party. Dad was arguing with security while Emma frantically typed on her phone. Let them wait, I replied, scanning the morning headlines Maya spread across my desk. Atlas Global CEO revealed. The Rachel Hamilton story. Tech's hidden queen. How she built a $157 billion empire in secret. Family shocked as entry-level daughter emerges as tech titan. Atlas Global acquisitions reshape corporate landscape. And these just arrived. Maya handed me another stack of messages. Derek, please discuss my position. Demotion unnecessary. Emma, need to talk about firm merger. Partners panicking. Dad, family emergency meeting. Your presence required. Aunt Patricia, darling, let's have lunch. Clear the air. Mark them all as unread, I instructed. How's the Hamilton Industries integration proceeding? Maya pulled up real-time data. All executive access codes have been changed. Your father's biometrics have been removed from security systems. The board has been officially dissolved. My phone buzzed, Bloomberg wanting to know how a simple analyst had orchestrated the largest corporate takeover in history. Ms. Hamilton, Maya announced, CNN is here for your scheduled interview. Perfect. I stood, straightening my designer suit, no more department store camouflage. Let's show the world what an entry-level employee can accomplish. The interviewer set up while I watched my family on the security feeds. Dad had moved from arguing to pleading with security. Emma was crying. Derek looked shell-shocked. Ms. Hamilton, the interviewer began, your revelation has stunned the business world. How did you manage to build Atlas Global without anyone knowing? It's amazing what people don't see when they've decided you're not worth watching, I replied, gesturing to the city skyline. Every building you see, every company you know, every piece of technology you use, Atlas Global has shaped it all. While my family was busy mocking my career, I was quietly revolutionizing the world. Speaking of family, she checked her notes. Atlas now controls most of their business interests. We acquired them gradually through various subsidiaries, I confirmed. My father's company, my sister's firm, my cousin's portfolio. They've actually been working for me for years. They just didn't know it. Security called up. Aunt Patricia was now demanding to discuss my responsibility to the family name. Ms. Hamilton, Maya interrupted smoothly, the quantum computing team needs your approval for Project Omega. I turned back to the interviewer. Would you like to witness how an entry-level analyst runs the world's most valuable company? By sunset, the business world had been completely transformed. Atlas Global's revelation had triggered global market shifts, and my family's desperate attempts to maintain control of their corporate interests had proven futile against my decade of careful planning. From my office atop Atlas Tower, I watched workers replace the last Hamilton Industries logo with Atlas Global's emblem. The symbolism wasn't lost on anyone. The quiet daughter had literally risen above her family's legacy. Final numbers for the day, Maya reported, entering with comprehensive data. Atlas stock up 125%, completed acquisition of 37 major companies, and your net worth has increased by $42 billion since the announcement. And our special projects? I asked, though I could see the progress on my screens. Project Omega is proceeding ahead of schedule. The quantum computing breakthrough will be announced next week. And the AI division has achieved another milestone in autonomous systems. My phone buzzed constantly with messages from family members. Dad, Rachel, this has gone far enough. Let's discuss this reasonably. Emma, the firm's partners are threatening to leave. Derek, please reconsider my position. Alaska is unnecessary. Aunt Patricia, family means something, dear. I smiled, remembering their words from countless family gatherings. Just an analyst. No business sense. Small ambitions. Why can't you be more like your cousins? Maya, I called, show me the family. Security feeds displayed them scattered throughout the building. Dad slumped in a third-floor waiting area. Emma crying in the lobby. Derek arguing with HR about his transfer to our Alaska research facility. Aunt Patricia trying to charm her way past security. Should I have them removed? Maya asked. No, I smiled. Let them experience what it feels like to be powerless. Like I did every time they dismissed my potential. The TV networks continued their coverage. Atlas Global revolutionizes tech industry. Rachel Hamilton, the secret billionaire. Family empire crumbles as daughter's company dominates market. Your father's trying to access his old office again, Maya noted, checking security alerts. Remind him that the executive floor requires quantum encrypted clearance now, I instructed. He can submit a meeting request through proper channels, like any other subsidiary manager. My phone lit up with another message, this time from the family lawyer. Emergency Hamilton Family Trust meeting requested. They've finally figured it out, I mused, pulling up trust documents on my screens. Show me the moment they realize. Security footage showed the family gathered in a lower-floor conference room, the lawyer explaining the situation. The trust's investments, they're all in Atlas Global subsidiaries now. Everything, the family properties, the investment portfolios, the offshore accounts, it's all under Atlas control. How? Dad's voice cracked. How did she do this? Quite legally, I spoke through the room's intercom, making them jump. Every time you mocked my career, I bought another company. Every time you dismissed my ideas, I developed another technology. Every time you compared me to my successful cousins, I acquired another piece of the future. The screens in their conference room came alive, showing Atlas Global's true scope. AI systems controlling global infrastructure, quantum computers revolutionizing industries, technological innovations reshaping reality itself. Remember when you said I didn't understand real business, Dad? I continued. While you were focused on quarterly reports, I was building something that transcended traditional commerce. When Emma said I should stick to spreadsheets, I was developing AI that made traditional analysis obsolete. Rachel, Emma pleaded, we're family. Family. I laughed softly. Like when you uninvited me from your wedding because my job was embarrassing to explain to your in-laws. Or when Derek got me blacklisted from investment firms because I wouldn't join Hamilton Industries. The screens shifted to show more acquisition data. Every company they'd ever worked for, invested in, or admired, now part of Atlas Global's network. You all taught me valuable lessons, I continued. Like when Aunt Patricia said I lacked ambition. That motivated me to acquire my first quantum computing lab. Or when Cousin Mark suggested I think smaller. That funded our AI breakthrough. My phone buzzed, another market alert. Hamilton Industries stock suspended from trading, pending complete integration into Atlas Global. Now, I stood watching their reflected faces in my office windows. Let me teach you some lessons about business. Real business. The screens displayed new organizational charts. Dad reassigned to middle management, Emma's firm dissolved into Atlas's legal division, Derek's transfer to Alaska confirmed. This is corporate terrorism, Dad protested. No, I corrected, this is evolution. The future you couldn't see because you were too busy looking down at the daughter you thought would never rise above entry level. What do you want? Emma asked quietly. Want? I smiled, watching Atlas logos light up across the city skyline. I want you all to understand something. That simple analyst you dismissed? She now controls the technology that powers your world. That small ambition you mocked? It built an empire that makes Hamilton Industries look like a corner store. The room fell silent as more screens activated, showing Atlas Global's latest innovations. Quantum networks reshaping communication, AI systems transforming industries, technological breakthroughs that would make their traditional business models obsolete. Welcome to the future, I announced. A future where the daughter you underestimated doesn't just own your companies, she owns the very framework of modern civilization. As I ended the intercom connection, I heard Dad starting to cry, Emma arguing with her firm's partners on the phone, Derek begging HR to reconsider Alaska. Aita, I called, proceed with Phase Omega. Let's show them what an entry-level analyst can really do. The quantum computing cores hummed to life, their power reshaping the very nature of business itself. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just succeeding, it's succeeding so completely that your doubters become footnotes in the empire they never saw coming. And as Atlas Global's innovations continued to transform the world, the Hamilton family would forever remember the quiet daughter they'd underestimated, the daughter who didn't just surpass their success, but redefined the very meaning of power itself.